The proposed trade deal between the UK and the US, following Starmer's meeting with President Trump, is a great positive. And the diplomatic charm offences, the economic pragmatism at play, you know, suddenly it looks like it is possible that Britain can realistically secure a trade agreement that avoids punitive tariffs and strengthens transatlantic ties. But we could equally be witnessing another rhetorical flourish with little chance of meaningful action. Trump, known for his uh, use of rather hyperbolic language, has floated the idea of a US UK trade deal, hinting that tariffs could be waived if such an agreement materialises. This comes as Trump simultaneously threatens a 25% tariff on EU exports, escalates tariffs on China, and slaps fresh duties on Mexico and Canada. By his own admission, however, the UK is a very different place from the EU, a statement both reassuring and ambiguous. The UK's position is complicated. Successive British leaders have long coveted a comprehensive free trade deal with the US, but previous attempts have foundered on disagreements over food standards, agriculture, taxation of US tech firms, and so on. And even now, despite Starmer's diplomatic efforts, which are monumental, frankly, you have to take your hat off to him, what is on offer appears to be a phased economic and technology agreement rather than a sweeping free trade deal. And the principal challenge remains the issue of tariffs. Trump's administration has wielded them as both a punishment and a bargaining tool, and Starmer's efforts to persuade Trump not to impose them on UK goods were met with a typically bombastic response. He tried. He earned whatever the hell they pay him over there. More pressing is the agricultural dispute, and the UK public has historically resisted accepting lower US food standards. Chlorinated chicken, hormone-treated beef remain potent symbols of deregulation fears. And should a Starmer-led Britain be prepared to shift on this, given Labour's domestic commitments on food safety and environmental standards? Should they? Beyond economic considerations, global politics looms large. The UK's refusal to fully align with US positions on Ukraine security guarantees and strategic mineral agreements raises doubts over Washington's willingness to grant significant trade concessions to us. Trump has himself been clear: if the UK is tough on free speech or digital taxation policies that affect US companies, this could create friction. And Trump's assertion that a deal could happen very quickly must be taken with a hefty pinch of salt, therefore. Historically, trade negotiations take years, not weeks. Moreover, the two sides are not even discussing a full free trade agreement, but rather a technology-centred economic arrangement, suggesting a piecemeal approach rather than a grand accord. It's also worth noting that for all his enthusiasm, Trump has previously derailed UK trade hopes. In the first term, he talked up a very substantial UK-US trade deal, only for negotiations to stall over familiar sticking points. Given his unpredictability and America's priority list, China, the EU, and North America, it's hard to see the UK leapfrogging over economic giants to secure a privileged deal. But despite these obstacles, both leaders have incentives to push the narrative of progress. For Starmer, appearing competent on the world stage and securing even a modest economic agreement helps reinforce his image as a practical statesman. Trump, meanwhile, enjoys playing the role of deal maker, using trade as a cudgel to reward allies and punish adversaries. Trade rather than ethics and historical diplomacy. Furthermore, the symbolic elements of their meeting, Trump's acceptance of an unprecedented second state visit invitation, his effusive praise of Starmer, and their agreement to begin work on economic cooperation, serves both men's political purpose. However, the symbolism and the substance are two very different things. The prospect of a UK-US trade deal remains an enticing yet elusive prize. While avoiding tariffs would be welcome, that would be a welcome win for the UK. A fully fledged trade agreement faces familiar roadblocks. Agriculture, digital taxation, and regulatory divergence remain unresolved. The UK may succeed in securing a limited technology and economic partnership, but this is far from the grand free trade deal once promised by Brexit enthusiasts. Ultimately, we're left with a question. Is this a genuine turning point in transatlantic trade relations, or just another episode of political theatre? Given the history of false starts and overblown rhetoric, it would be unwise to bet too heavily on a breakthrough just yet. Not just yet.